Demon Hunter first up. BD gonna be going up versus Jesus. A bit of a rematch between the two as the two hero classes are diving into the arena. Big I-beam by BD. Try to see if he can, but it's absolutely tear apart. Jesus, big damage with the blade dances. Jesus just trying to see if he can keep everything together before it goes all cut down to pieces. Big AoE fear on Jesus, dropping in the big dome, trying to reduce a lot of the chaos damage. Just no chaos zone. Chaos is illegal in this area, as it's going to be a stun onto BD. Just get himself the army. Honestly, maybe Jesus could just set the army onto BD and just AFK. Let the army do work. But a big cleave, massive blade dance, good damage. It's going to be Jesus trying to see if he can survive it, but BD just cutting him down. Just ripping that boy to shreds. With Yasha going to be up next as a pal, going to be a stun to BD. He has a trinket in case he's in trouble. Big immunity as soon as he sees big damage out of Yasha. Just trying to use that immunity just to escape. That is a big hammer hanging over his head. Darkness may be enough to keep you alive. Into eventual retreat. Try to stay in the air for as long as possible. The darkness absorbed that hammer. None of that damage went through. Gonna be imprisoned off of the big go by BD to try to see if he can play very, very carefully. Yasha may have to go for a bubble. And BD needs to find a way to escape. Definitely needs to avoid getting stunned up. Eventual retreat. Stun onto Yasha. Does he have the damage? May just have him here. Oh! He played this. He's blinded, but he's still slashing, thrashing. And he was able to cut him down. My goodness, that is such a... What an ability, man. What an effect. Kiosko sending in the pet versus BD. And he's just going to try to see if he can rip into that pet. If Kiosko plays this super, super carefully, maybe he could beat a Demon Hunter. But I don't really know how it's going to go. BD tried to stay afloat. Why is he in the air? After his eventual retreat, he's immune to CC, takes 75% less damage, while what looks like Kiosko feels like takes 75% more damage at all times. So in prison, as Kiosko trying to see if he can veer behind the pillar, as it's going to be a sigil of fear right after him, but somehow was able to avoid it. I'm not even sure how. It's going to be still chopping to BD, trying to see if he can slow him down. The grenades just chipping away at his health, but Kiosko's health is just not in a great spot. One more ability could take you out right there. Turtle Shell at the last second. Do you have a bleed on you? Looks like still not it. Oh, looks like maybe he still has a bleed on him or something. Some kind of like a chaotic dot rolling on him the entire time. It just ended up taking him out. Gonna be, dropping down the static totem, kind of keeping BD in place with a stun to follow, but it's gonna keep booping him in there. And Fetty trying to see if he can maybe go for, oh my goodness, I'm sorry, what? All right, Demon Hunters. And the man is just praying. He's like, oh please, God have mercy on my soul, so Magdam doesn't absolutely just crush me here. Shadow Melt to evade. He just Shadow Melted to evade the spear. Shadow Melted to evade the grippy effect of the spear. Try to see if he can avoid Magdam as best as possible. The man is just a blade storming McGee over here. BD try to see if he can get himself a recovery. Big hunt for some Magdam, but he comes to a parry. BD looking to escape. Does he have any survivability? Gonna be reflected out for Magdam. BD just gotta make sure he doesn't stun himself. There goes his nether escape. Just looking for the run. Throwing in glaze at Magdam to hopefully slow him down. Big cleave right after. Oh my god! What was that? Oh my goodness, he just went for soul cleave, literally cleaving into this man's soul. We got ourselves Prox gonna be first up versus Magdam, getting opened up with full bleeds. Magdam is gonna have to respond very carefully unless the man has got himself big defenses, trying to go super aggression, but look at the bleeds. They're just rotting him down. There isn't really much you can really do. Parry up, unless you can remove all those bleeds maybe with bitter, unless he's not running bitter immunity. I don't think he is, but Prox walked in. Full defenses, full bleeds. Magdam can't really do much about it. Has to get super aggressive in order to get some damage onto the kitty. But look at his health bar right now, man. Try to see if he can go for a big charge. But I think it's just over. Parag just with those bleeds just ripping right through him. I mean, that's a lot of damage was taken at the very, very end, though. With Amphenica going to be up next as an enhancement shaman. Fenny with Prox going in for the big incarnation, trying to get those big bleeds up and running. Fenny trying to see if he can knock him into that static zone and does end up eliminating it. That's going to be a enhanced shaman ripped to shreds in just a matter of seconds. Kiosk on a standby. Maybe it's gonna be Frost Boss going in next, maybe Yasha. But man, that Feral Druid is already ripping through two people that quickly. We're only a minute into the duel. Can Kiosk bypass the Pharaoh? Pharaoh leaping in quick enough in order to get the rake stun onto Kiosk. Full bleeds rolling in as he got himself a freezing trap on him. Kiosk able to bypass the dots. Unless there's a Moonfire build for Prox, you should be able to bypass some Barskin in order to help damper some of that big explosive damage out of Kiosk. Those kill shots. Kiosk definitely needs that line of sight on Prox. Stun around the corner. Brox doesn't really have much of survivability here. Does have a bark skin, but there may not be enough though. Brox super low on health, walking back into the tar trap. Harpooned by Kiosko. Oh, so close. I thought, honestly, looked like Brox was dead for a second, but he wasn't. But does go down eventually. Kiosko doesn't. I'm taking him out. Take him a second or two, but does end up eliminating him. With Fractal gonna be up next, charging out on his big fell demolisher. Hoping to close the gap with Kiosko. Kiosko diving into Camo. His pet does get clipped out in the open. Fractal with the missiles. Kiosko better be extra careful. Scatter onto Fractal. Does himself all the time. Breath onto Kiosko. Turtle shell for the Hunter. As he's looking for a full escape. Just wants to back away from Fractal as best as he can. Big burns by Fractal, freezing shot for Kiosko, took a big hit, but does survive the nuke. Mad barrage, I think it's over. Oh my god. Fractal does end up taking him out with a big barrage. Frostboss is gonna be up next, charging out. He knows more or less where Fractal is at, playing that Frosty DK is gonna go AoE now at all of those images. Try to see if he can get himself that big remorse winter coalescing around Fractal. Big damage to follow. Does he have the obliterates he needs? Is gonna yoink him back over. Mad hits. That's gonna be a big freeze. Fractal does have all the time, but the man just needs to go rewinding back before he stepped into the arena, honestly. Oh my god. That was so close. Definitely should have pressed all the time while he was kind of sort of active. IBF the Frostboss, seeing big chaos damage out of BD. Is going to drop down a dome, trying to see if he can do a lot of damage mitigation here. Metamorphosis out of BD does get hit with a big blind. I don't know if Frostboss has done stunned already. That's going to be a lot of damage on the Demon Hunter for a little bit. A lot of survivability while in Metamorphosis as well. Big cleave onto Frostboss. Mad Blade Dance right after. Does have AMS, but it burns right through it very, very quickly with another Demon spawning in for BD. It's going to go for Tricket. Frostboss, Dark Pact, but he's basically on his last foot. How does he survive this damage? I don't know if he can. Try to see if he can fight right through it. BD, I don't even know why he's dancing on his corpse like that at the end there. I felt like that was a little bit of BM. With Yasha going to be up next, can BD surpass him? BD does not have a lot of defenses to walking into Yasha. Maybe this is where Yasha takes him out, or maybe BD just ends up one-shotting Yasha, as this man has been known to do so. Stun onto Yasha, big IBM to follow. Does he have a big go? Gonna be a big charge into a Shadow Meld. I think he's just trying to go for a big hit and runs up to Yasha. Big hit to follow. Mad Cleave. Does he have himself with a big go? That's going to be immunity onto the blind. Oh no. Yasha have to back up out of there, hoping to maybe maximize damage off of that nether rock. But BD is trying to avoid him as best as he can. Darkness, just absorbing so much of that paladin damage. He's trying to go in big damage, trying to throw it into him, so they're just going right into that darkness, just evading it. The big hammer hanging over his head could be pretty bad though. BD, does he have himself a big go? Has himself the demon that he can just explode for free health. That's going to be able to do so. Blur at last second, the hammer does drop in, but it doesn't even do that much damage. I think Yasha was able to get the hammer hovering over the man's head, but never get to really ramp it up with a bunch of holy damage to follow. Big IBM out of BD is going to get interrupted into another walk into a massive cleave onto Yasha. The whole time I was trying to figure out the ability what is eventual retreat as well as trying to pull out of my brain. But man, that bleed damage, that big burst out of BD. How do you stop the Demon Hunters, man?